All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the video here. So what we're getting into is this article, this study here. Heard about it, hadn't looked into it or anything yet, but basically looking at it's a study they did about people basically on their phones in between sets. This is as much as I do know about it, so how it affected them on their progress in the gym, essentially. So as we see here, the title here, another PubMed article here, or study, whatever you want to call it. It's a study, but let's see. Mental fatigue from smartphone use reduces volume load in resistance training. A randomized single-blinded crossover study. So this the title here is saying that this mental fatigue from the smartphone uses reduces volume load in resistance training. So if you're getting less volume out of your workouts versus if you could have gotten more, you're going to be getting less gains. All right, but let's look here at the abstract. So we investigated the acute effects of mental fatigue induced by 30-minute use of smartphone social network apps on volume load and resistance training among recreational trained adults. 16 adults of both sexes performed 3 sets of half back squat exercise to failure with 80% of 15 rep max, interspersed with 3 minutes of passive recovery between sets. So they're doing essentially back squats with 3 minutes of rest before and after 2 different cognitive tasks. A, use of smartphone social network apps, and B, watching a documentary. So one group was going to be watching a documentary, the other group's going to be using social media network apps. We assess mechanical variables and ratings of perceived exertion during the strength exercise. Relative to the documentary viewing control condition, a 30-minute exposure to smartphone social network apps led participants toward increased perception of mental fatigue and lower volume load during the strength exercise. Wow, that is wild, man. So it's saying that the people on the actual versus the people watching the documentary in between sets and the people actually on social media network apps in between sets, they had a higher rate of perceived, where was that? Or just read that at social network apps. Had a higher increased level of perceived exertion. I'm kind of losing where I was just at. Right there, toward increased perception of mental fatigue and lower volume load during the strength exercise. So there was no significant difference in the perceived exertion between conditions, participants' motivation, intraset mechanical variables, or blood lactate concentrations. So that would be like the lactic acid building up that burn. So it's basically saying when they studied the people, there's no difference in between the physical of each group or anything like that. Our findings of an isolated, kind of look around, make sure I'm not losing myself here. A finding of an isolated possible higher than normal RPE without changes in physiological variables accompanying the lower volume load in the mentally fatigued participant supports psychological rather than physiological basis for mental fatigue effects. So that is crazy, dude. You know, that is crazy. There's literally a study they ran here that, so the one groups that was doing the social media apps in between set had essentially, so like if you're doing a set, that RPE, that like their perceived of exertion was a lot higher. So if they really could have went to 12, it's like when you're doing that set and they like 8, 7 hits, oh, 8 hits, oh, it's starting to get hard. 9, oh, just I can't do it. And they stop. Where if like with the other group, they just watch a documentary, or if you're not on social media networks, you might hit 7, oh, 8, oh, it's getting tough. 9, oh. 10, oh crap, this is gonna be a tough one. 11, oh, I'm gonna go one more, and you push and you get 12, right? But like one you stopped at 8, one you stopped at 12. So it's basically saying by using social media apps in between sets, you're rating your exertion as being higher because it's mentally fatiguing you in between sets by looking at social media apps. Which is wild, dude. And it's saying right here how it's actually a psychological thing fatiguing you, and it's not a physical thing, because it's not physically fatiguing you in any way, shape, or form to be looking at the social media apps. And they tested all these other physical markers, and it's exactly the same between the groups that was on social media versus the group that was just watching a documentary. But the ones that were doing social media were basically getting less loads. They were stopping their sets earlier. They were perceiving their exertion to be harder than it really was. So, you know what I'm saying? If you're doing that set after set after set, week in and week out, every set you're getting less than what you could be getting. I don't know how much it actually affected them, but even if it's 2 or 3, 4 reps, whatever it is, that's going to be a huge difference over time, that compounding effect. If you look at that, how many workouts you did over a year, how much level of volume, how much weight and total volume you'd actually been moving, it's going to make a big difference, and you're really shooting yourself in the foot there. So, always hear the old kind of adage of like thing of like, people complain about people being lazy on their phones in the gym. Well, it actually has some merit behind it now, because this is showing that you're really shortchanging yourself by being on social media apps. You're literally going to be getting less progress out of the gym. You're going to be burning less fat, building less muscle in the gym by just using social media apps. So that right there, man, should make you want to get off your phone. Now, me personally, I already just don't do that. Essentially, I just have a timer. I'll start the timer, and I'm basically walk around the gym. So what you want to use in that rest time for? So instead of, it's crazy that just that little bit of mental fatigue, you know, will cause you to stop earlier during your set. But it's really not that crazy, because, you know, once you're hitting that set, as soon as that pain starts to come on, it really does become a mental thing more so than a physical thing. You really stop your set when you tell yourself to stop mentally, not physically. Your body will just keep going if you could just keep mentally pushing through it, right? Now, you might hit complete failure, but your body would still technically keep pushing until you tell it enough, right? So basically, you know, we all start the day each day with, you know, essentially a full tank of willpower, you know, mental energy, whatever you want to call it. Well, that's if you slept good at night. Now, if you're shortchanging your sleep, you might start the day with 60%, which you're already really, again, shortchanging yourself there. So you want to make sure you're getting enough rest. So starting the day with 100% battery, and as the day goes, you know, your willpower, your mental power, whatever you want to call it, fatigue's off, right? Now, you can get really good where you build good habits, and that's the main thing, is building habits where you don't have to use willpower anymore, where basically you're on point all day long, right? That's one thing I would be preaching of, it is getting to that point. But basically doing small things like that, man. So if it's affecting you in the gym like that, I'm thinking that's affecting you all day long too. So be careful how much, and that's actually already been studied. I've already heard about that a long time ago about, but not necessarily mental fatigue, but just basically overall, like, happiness. Essentially, people that's been correlated, people who spend more time on social media are directly less happy with their lives, essentially. So, you know, just limit it in general, but for sure in the gym, if, you know, why would you want to do anything, especially gym, putting in that effort in the gym, you know, if you're only going to get 80-70% of the back of the results you could be putting out for the effort, why would you want to do that? You know, me, I want to, if I'm giving something my best, which is everything I'm doing, I want the best back from what I can get, which is 100%. So I'm giving 100%, I want 100% back. You know, I'm not going to shortchange myself by looking at some social media in between sets, and now I'm only getting 70% back. You know what I'm saying? Again, I don't know how big the drop-off was, but for me, any drop-off is too much drop-off for something as minuscule as just being on social media. You know, save that for when you're out of the gym so you can get the most progress out of the gym. But yeah, man, so what you want to do in between sets, so instead of mentally fatiguing yourself, you want to basically supercharge yourself physiologically, like with your body. So walking around is going to be very good for you. Not speed walking, it's a nice relaxed walk. You can take little minor sits here and there, but nice slow walk, relaxing walk to the gym, and focusing on your breath. The deepest breaths in you can take, and the deepest breaths out you can take through your nose. That's going to recover you the fastest in between each set. So then when you get back to your set, you're going to actually be able to get the most out of that set. So you might be able to, versus just sitting there, even not on your phone, versus walking around, focusing on your breath like crazy, you might be able to push out an extra rep or two just from really focusing on, you know, recovering as best as you can. And also drinking water has been shown to really help you in between sets to recover faster as well. So those are the couple things you want to do in between sets to recover as fast as possible, so you can really push as hard as you can and get the most reps in with that weight you're using each set, which is going to yield the most gains, versus the worst thing you can do would just be sitting there and on your going through social media apps based off this study, and that's going to cause you to quit the set earlier, and just you perceive it as being harder than it really would be, because you're mentally fatiguing yourself in between, which is wild that it would mentally fatigue you looking through stuff, but apparently it does based on this study. So anyway, that's it for the reaction video, man. I just wanted to cover this. I saw this. It's my first time looking at the study with y'all, though. I don't want to look into it and just see what it was about. I heard about it, and yeah, man, freaking wild. So stay off your phone if you're serious about your gains in the gym, or you know the knowledge now, man. Just like I do with all my taste test videos or my healthy videos going over unhealthy ingredients. It's like, I'm just telling y'all what's healthy, what's unhealthy. You know, you can make the decision to do what you want to do. It's your body, right? And it's your gains here. So if you're okay with missing out on gains, go right ahead. You know, you can make that decision now with now you have the knowledge that it's affecting you. And that's what I want to do, is spread that knowledge, make people more health conscious, and then obviously in this, more gains conscious. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you're just conscious of what you're doing and what those results are going to yield you, essentially, which I'm really big on that in the mindset stuff, for yielding you a lot further down the road as far as your ultimate life success and stuff too. But that's it for the video, man. If y'all have anything y'all want to see me react to, comment down below, or you can DM me. I have some subscribers sending me in stuff on social media, on Instagram, so you can just DM me there as well, at Kyle Gainey Fitness. Facebook, Kyle Gainey Fitness. I do have art and card. I sell Yu-Gi-Oh cards too. Got a card shop there. I got a couple different clothing brands, gaming social medias too. All those are down below, but just shoot me this stuff on Kyle Gainey Fitness or down below. Really any of them, I'll see it, honestly, so you can shoot on anyone. But yeah, send them there. I'll react to it. Sometimes I do videos. Sometimes I've been doing like studies like this just to get them out there to the world, because it's very, very crucial information here. And I think the more people know about this, the better, because most everybody is on their phones in between sets, right? So getting this out there, man. Sometimes it's videos I react to, just whatever I think is good to react to. So if just keep sending the stuff, or if I come across stuff like this, I'm going to be reacting to it. So that's it for the video, man. Appreciate y'all watching. Stay happy, stay healthy. Gonna make y'all some gains. I appreciate all support that y'all been giving me. Please keep hitting that like button. Please keep subscribing. It means the world to me. Let's keep growing and getting better, essentially. So anyway, that's it for the video. Stay happy, stay healthy. Gonna make y'all some gains. I'm gonna see y'all on the next one. Peace out, everybody.